Big deal.
Do we have our guy?
We've got Milan.
Let's let him say his own name, because I think we've been Mickey. I think we've been messing your name up. So let's hear your pronunciation of it, so we can stop screwing it up. Good morning, and thanks for the time.
Good morning, guys. I would actually love to hear your pronunciation first.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Okay, hang on. Go ahead, Mark.
Nikolic. Am I wrong?
Nikolic. That was close enough.
Nikolic. Okay.
Nickelback? No.
No. So, but we're really excited to have you on, and Sananda looks like an incredible player from Germany, but we kind of want to hear it from you, like how did you guys get linked up with Louisville, and what is his reputation as a player?
So first of all, I think the easiest way to start is the connection came through Coach Coleman. He reached out a while ago, and we started the process. It was something that was very interesting for us. Let's say just around summertime. It's with a lot of American players coming out of college. One of Sananda's teammates actually right now on the team is Trey Mitchell, who's at the University of Kentucky. As far as I believe, quite a good player there. And he told him a lot of that, and Sananda got super interested in it. And with the staff, obviously they did a lot of great things in the past year in Winthrop, in Charleston. So it was something, and the idea they had of how they want to play and how they want to use Sananda was something that was very, very intriguing for us. So I think Sananda, what people don't see yet is that he's actually, he was throughout the junior system, an excellent three-point shooter. He's somebody who's actually very confident. Just right now at the pros, it's a part of his game that I would say slowed down a bit, or he's not allowed to pull the trigger this often. And I think you guys know better than me how Louisville is playing this year under Coach Kelsey. So I think this is a part of the game that is very exciting, that people haven't seen so much, that they will see of Sananda coming in with you guys.
Yeah, that won't be a problem here, shooting the three. I think they'll have no issue allowing him to do that. When did the floodgates open, with players who are professionals in Europe to be able to, attend, college and get paid? And when did that happen? And it's got to be a market that's ever growing, I would assume.
Yeah, I would say that's something, if we're talking purely about those guys that are interested in NIL deals and similar, that's something that opened up, I would say, in the first half of last year with the guys you have in college right now, be it Yakuchonis at Illinois or Demian at BYU. And I think even before, you had guys who were super interested in the educational part. They wanted to come over to the States to experience a different culture, different basketball. So that is something that was always there and will be. And I think just in this new space that we're living in, it's quite possibly the numbers will go up a bit. But in all honesty, I don't expect it to inflate this much as some people are. I don't expect it. I don't expect that everybody who comes who wants to go to college, who wants to become a pro, it suddenly turns out to be I want to go to college player.
Yeah, and how do you value? I mean, obviously, the dollars are what they are in Europe, but here, I mean, I don't know, as an agent, how do you evaluate for your client? Hey, not only are you going to get paid, you're going to have room and board, you're going to have around housing, support, housing, all of that. I mean, how do you balance the books on that? Like, what or how do you assign a value? I guess I should say, to the other ancillary things you get by attending U.S. college.
Yeah, so with Sananda, it was crucial with who he is and where he's at in his young career, that simply the basketball fit is right. So what was important to me is that he doesn't go to a place where he will eventually be one of the guys, but rather the guy. I mean, he's coming in to have a big role with Louisville. That's I think what everybody expects and what he brings to the table. So that was far more important than go into, I don't know, school with who's throwing out the biggest numbers or, I think Louisville is a sleeping giant. I don't have to explain to you guys. You know it better than me. I've experienced it. I've visited the campus. I've been at the game against Duke earlier this season and was super impressive. I mean, seeing it was my first time in Louisville, but even before that, just watching on TV, like the name Louisville Cardinals is one of the few names in college basketball that carries weight over here in Europe. So that was a big part of the decision of coming here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious at what your first impressions were when, like, you got into town and you saw the arena and you went to campus and you saw the facilities that they practice in, and what versus what you expected.
And
to
no
see.
horse farms. That must have been stunning.
Right.
Everybody that comes here for the first time is
you may
looking
have
for
seen
a farm.
horse.
Yeah,
you may have seen a horse. I don't know. But what were your impressions versus what we thought you were going to see?
I mean, it started already before that. Like the whole contact with the guys from the collective, with the coaching staff, with the support staff, with the managers, everything was literally top notch. And it wasn't just, as I like to call it, American friendly. It was true, honest, sincere guys that everything they said added up. I mean, coming into there, you expect, the arena fits like, 19, 20,000. It's literally an NBA type arena, but you don't understand how big it actually is, or how big, or at least I didn't, until I walked into this arena and I saw like this arena is filled out like 20 minutes before the game, and it's people of all age groups. The people are really into it. It's not an NBA crowd where people just sit, have a beer and a hot dog. People actually care. People get involved, and was super entertaining to watch. And that was something. I mean, I was sending Sananda pictures and then videos throughout the game, and he was super excited about it. And the closer the date comes for him to come over, the more excited he gets. So everything helps right now. The collective guys came over. They wanted to show him some love, see him in person. We had a great dinner last night, so tonight we're gonna be all together at the game, and this is something I think everybody can be pretty excited about what's going to happen from October on in the new season.
What is his timeline of getting to campus? When does he expect to be over here?
That's something we haven't determined yet, because his team is currently playing the most successful season in, I think, the last 15 years or so.
Oh.
And so they're currently second in the German league, so they're right on track on being in the playoffs. So depending on when their season finishes or how deep they go in the playoff run, we will decide with staff when it's best for him to come over. But his approach is the sooner the better. So once the season is over, I think you guys will see him pretty quickly in Louisville.
One of the things that I noticed with him is, like, you always hear this reputation of European players on defense and, like, whether or not they can defend when they get over to America. It seems to me like he's got a reputation for really being able to defend off switches, and that it doesn't matter if he's on a big or if he's on a guard, that he has that ability. Maybe that's his reputation to be able to do that.
First of all, I would definitely agree with you that the European players, especially European guards, have issues defensively coming into a high major or power conference like the ACC. And on the other hand, I think Sananda exactly won't have this issue, because I always even told teams in Europe, I told the NBA scouts here in Europe, I think he's the best switch defender that we have in the German league, and the German league is a top 5 league here in Europe. It's very much comparable to a power conference in D1. So Sananda brings actually something to the table that I think, watching a lot of AC, he will be able to stay like in switch defense in front of very quick guards, the best guards in the league. He's not per se what people might not expect. He's not somebody who will have 3 or 4 blocks per game. I think his mindset is more of, I want to change shots, I want to contest shots, and I want to make it the most difficult type of shot for the offensive player. If I end up getting a block, so be it. That's just the approach he has defensively. So I think this is something you guys can expect him coming over.
Now, has Kelsey met him in person? Have they met face-to-face or just over like Zoom or something?
No, because it was very difficult to schedule everything. Obviously, like, both sides are super involved with the seasons. So we had to use the internet quite a lot to put this.
Yeah. How much did it help knowing that they've got an elite level point guard coming in next year as well, and Michael Brown, that can get him the ball?
If I got to be honest, it wasn't part of the decision at all.
Okay.
Because I for my part, I truly believe that Sananda is an elite big, one of the best we have in Europe right now, and I really think he makes any team better. So yes, knowing that Michael Brown is coming in is actually a significant boost to the excitement, without any question. but it wasn't part of the decision. I don't know if maybe you guys know, but they actually played each other, like I think 2 years ago in Italy at the Adidas Euro camp. So I don't know if him and Sananda know that, but I think that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting fact.
So where was that? They played against
Italy.
each other? Where was it? Just to
in Italy.
Enhance that.
Italy. So it's basically what we have here every year. It's called the Adidas Euro camp, and it's a 3-day event, which is basically like the European NBA draft combine, basically. Like all the NBA GMs, like the decision makers, they come over. So the gym is filled with, I don't know, 200, 300 NBA personnel. And one of the teams is basically an NBA, a U.S. select team. Like the Adidas USA sends over a team that competes with the other guys during that team. So basically like an all-star team. So that's how they face each other.
So is Adidas helpful in this whole process?
No, they weren't part of this at all, at least from our side.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I didn't know because we know obviously Louisville's a huge Adidas school, and I hear Adidas, my ears perk up.
That's where you're.
Yeah.
What does Sananda? What does he hope to develop on? Does he want to get bigger, stronger? Does he want to slim down? How do you see, or what's part of his skills do you think he wants to develop on here at Louisville once he arrives?
I think, and that was a big part of the decision, is your strength and conditioning coach, Coach Eli, who's I think one of the best and most resourceful people I've met in this business over my almost 20 years in this business. The way he evaluates young people, what he wants to achieve, the results he has achieved throughout his career is something that is very, very impressive. And I think this is the biggest field of improvement for Sananda. I think body-wise he's somewhat of a late bloomer. If you go back a year or two looking at him, he still hasn't filled out his frame, I think, and especially when it comes to strength and muscles, I think there's a lot of upside when it comes to that. So I'm hoping that this is a big part that will help him, especially thinking towards the NBA or eventually going back to Europe to the EuroLeague level that he developed there. And obviously his three-point game, that's something that like I said earlier, I think it's an undervalued factor of his game, and come and working with Coach Kelsey and the rest of the staff, I truly hope that this will evolve further.
Talking with him, let me see if I say it right. Mickey is the name. Nikolic, am I saying? Is that the last name correct?
Yeah, Nikolic. Okay. Milan Nikolic.
I did enough hockey games early in my career to understand how to say all these
Everybody calls
names.
him Mickey, though.
Yeah. But Mickey, you said earlier that you didn't think necessarily there would be a ton of guys, coming out of the pros in Europe over to U.S. college. Why is that? Is it the money? Is it another reason? Why would you say that?
They're different. They're different type of kids. So I always like to say there's three different levels of college interest or not interest. So basically how kids coming out of high school in Europe think. There's the kids who actually care about the education. They want to come over and get the degree, because the way it works, competing at the highest level and getting a degree, it's only possible in U.S. college. Yes, it is possible here in Europe somewhat too, but it takes way more effort and way more time. So because obviously clubs they don't structure their practices around college obligations. Then you have the second part of kids who care about the basketball side, that want to come over because, generally care about the type of basketball style that is being played in college and want to experience that. And then you have the third group of people, the newest one, that says, okay, there's this money factor that interests me, and that's the main reason why I'm coming over. The fourth group, obviously, that is still a big one, but which people in the U.S. might not know, and that's the group of kids that simply don't care about college. They want to turn pro, and it doesn't matter how much money they get paid or whatsoever. They don't see themselves playing in college. So this is why I came to the conclusion that, yes, more kids will come, but I don't think it will exponentially rise. The numbers won't exponentially rise.
Gotcha. He's shooting 72% from the field. A lot of dunks in there. But you're right, boy, they've only bottled him up from three. Only allowed him to shoot 11 threes, but that number is going to be significantly better over here, is what you're telling us.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
It comes down to Coach Kelsey and his staff, but I think this is what we spoke about, and this is something they saw when they evaluated him and when they started recruiting. This is like it fit with our thinking that this is an undervalued part of his game. So I would think he will shoot significantly more than 11 threes per season, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, everybody's pumped about this. I got to wonder, as a guy who's an agent, you're used to contracts. I mean, is there really, with the American universities and the NIL being what it is there even a contract you sign? Is it unusual to do business where there's not like something written like you have with pro players?
I mean, it's a bit complicated, to put it this way, and it's. I know you would love to hear about that, but that's something I'd rather pass on giving an answer. If you
no, I mean, I don't mean like in terms of numbers, but is it? I just always think it's unusual. All this amount of money is changing hands, and there's not like firm contracts. I don't know. That just always strikes me as odd in the college game.
I mean, it's eventually as it is with any type of deal, you negotiate something, you speak about something, and then you figure out how should I put this? How can you give particular security to both sides, to both contractual sides? So I hope this answers your question. This is the best I can do.
Okay. No, I get it. No,
we're very excited about Sananda, and I'm happy that you've made it over here, that you got to see this.
You got to come back for Derby.
Yeah, we'll have to have you come back, and then you will see a horse if you come back for Derby, Mickey. Yeah.
Maybe you guys can show me around next time.
We will. Yeah,
we certainly will.
If you come around Derby time, we'll take care of you. Well, hey, we really appreciate it. We're excited about it. Is there anything else you can tell us about his personality? What's he like?
So Sananda is actually one of the funniest kids I've met. He has a very, very intelligent and specific type of humor, but he gets along with anybody. And I think what people should be afraid of the first time he meets people, he might look grumpy or something, but it's just him being careful. Once he meets people, and I think this is what the Louisville fans can expect. He's a smiling and funny guy, and his nickname is actually Sunny. So you can go by that. He'll be very happy with this.
Sunny. All right, that's his name.
Sananda Fru.
Yep, Sananda
okay.
Fru. All right, that's it. It's a lot easier to say. All right. Well,
I figured.
Well, thanks so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. And, we'll look forward to whenever he gets over here. We'll look forward to having him.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thanks. Absolutely. Very appreciate it. That's Milan Nikolic, who is the agent for Sunshine Fru. Sunny Fru.
Sunny Fru.
Yeah, like Sonny Will Stein, we got Sananda Fru.
Right. No, so I really enjoyed that.